there's this man that I met. It so happened that he was coming from some honeymoon with the wife, and they had an accident, and the wife died.
Depression is, you know how it is a mental disorder that manifests itself in so many different ways. Until you realize that it is something that needs treatment, you'd ignore it.
I'm saying, so for people that we're pretty much not able to like see the signs that this is what's going on, because they can mask, they can mask it so well to where you know on the outside. How can we help those individuals? Welcome to the Now podcast with your host Zed Now, Lukun Kamlenga. And today's topic is going to be quite interesting. We're going to be exploring the issue of depression, especially in men. This doesn't mean that women are excluded, but our main focus is going to be on men. So with me here on the panel, I have Soti. Hey, she's going to pronounce the name quite better than I am. And then we also have Michelo. So I'm just going to give them some time to introduce themselves and let them speak about, what they do. And we're going to dive into the topic. So T, you can go first.
So hi guys, I'm Sotini Nkwazi. I am from Malawi. I am a student at Cavendish. I'm studying social work. I'm based in Zambia for now.
Nice. And then Michelo, over to you.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Duna Michelo. I'm a military personnel for the Zambian Air Force, procurement officer in South Livingstone. Yeah, so.
Nice. I think we should be looking out for Michelo because I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna let me in trouble. Those done a lot of somersaults and by the way, Michelo, thank you for your service. We always want to appreciate, our army. You guys do a great job to keep us safe. So we definitely appreciate your work.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. So guys, the topic of discussion today is depression, which also ties into mental health, especially in men. This is something which is never explored enough. And, society pretty much undermines the value of talking about this, especially in men. Now, recently, we have seen a rise, especially on social media, about, just from one post to another post to another post, men deleting themselves. I can't use the S word because we get canceled, but, men deleting themselves from the face of the earth simply because of hardships that they are going through. And so, we all have experience in dealing with people. So I want to know from you guys' perspective, what do you think is going on? Because the reason also that it's very important to talk to women, because women, you date men. So all these other things that men will probably not speak about when it comes to, maybe talking about it to another man, they will feel comfortable to talk about them to their women. So if somebody's your babe, somebody's your boo, you'll be the first person that they're going to be confiding in. But these are things that they'll be feeling too ashamed to talk about to another man. So for anybody who's going to be questioning, like, well, why do you have women on the panel? Well, if you look in our culture, we live in a culture in a society where men marry women still. So, women, us better than most of our male friends know us. So, unfortunately, I think Sotini fell off because of the network. But so let's go over to you, Michelo. So, what do you think is going on here?
With my observation, I think the main cause to that. Okay, the thing is, before I get to my point, there was a time like 2 years ago, I was going through a divorce. And then I was diagnosed with panic disorder due to stress that led into severe depression. You understand? So I had to drop school. And then I was referred to a clinic 6 at UTH psychiatric. So while I was there during my sessions for therapy, the counseling and everything, there's this man that I met. It so happened that he was coming from some honeymoon with the wife, and they had an accident and the wife died on the spot. Yes. So the thing, like, it's something that's been eating him up, like to say he wasn't healed fully. And not only that, he told me to say that he had gotten some monies, something like that, to do their wedding and everything. So like he had a lot going on to say, I lost the wife and then I put in so much, like I got into debts and then like I'm so ashamed. Like it's something that he did not share with his family, with his friends, and it was just something that was, torturing him. So like we exchanged numbers, like we go like maybe on a coffee date or something, like, okay, what's wrong? Like what's really going on? Why you not? So the thing is, it's because of society, like most of things that eats up, like what kills us, is the fear of the unknown as to what will people think about me? What will people say? All that. So like with men, he was like, no, I feel like I've failed as a man. I feel like I've failed my family, like I failed my colleagues and everything.
Yeah.
So the most challenging thing that's killing these people is the, hold on. Come in. So it's like the thing of the fear of unknown. That's what's killing them. And also, what will people say? What would the society say? Such things are the ones that are killing them. So, by the end of the day, people always people. But if only we can come in terms as to just open up, like to say, okay, let me just come out of this, to take away that shame and everything. I feel like that can be of help. I don't know, but in most cases, it's all because of the fear of the unknown. What will people say? People will laugh at me, like maybe I've failed, I've done this and this. So, and this same thing as to say, okay, I'm a man, maybe I just need to man up. I'm not supposed to show it to the world to say I have these challenges. And these same aspects that we say, no, Mamuna Samalila and everything. Meanwhile, your mental health should be first. So in fear of that, you just end up, to say, let me just try this exit because it gets so heavy. So, yeah.
Okay. Very, 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 very insightful, input there. So what about you, Sotini? What do you think is going on then with the men? You do social work. I know it's your first year, but it also falls in line with these things. So what do you think is happening?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel maybe because depression is, how it is a mental disorder that manifests itself in so many different ways. So I feel like it's the level of manifestation that pushes someone into the killing, maybe vanishing themselves and deciding to do whatever they do. So I feel men are not allowed to express themselves in a way that a woman does. That is a problem. It doesn't mean if you come out and say you're depressed and you're less a man. I feel like there is need to open up and say, I can't do this. I'm in this and it is killing me.
Oh, yeah.
You know how our communities build us? They build us in a way that a man cannot stand out and say, I have failed. It means he's going to be laughed at, he's going to be less of a man. But a man has to still go on even when he cannot go on. So if, let's say, as you put it, to say, maybe a man will come to you as your partner and he may not really say he's depressed, but because you know your man, you'll be able to read and say, this is not how he behaves. there's something wrong. But with how we live today, everybody does their own thing, even though we're in a relationship. Trust you me. So I'll give you some stages of depression, or some types of depression, or how depression is. Yeah, because if it comes in very different ways, in so many different ways. Someone can decide to just shut down. They can decide not to talk to anybody. Like they'll do the self-isolation. They don't want to talk. They do not want to do anything that excited them. Then they wouldn't want to associate with anybody, not even their partner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else can decide to lose interest even in going to work. They'll lose interest in going to church. They'll lose interest in so many life activities that they used to do. Yeah. Whereas others will lose appetite, others will lose sleep. It comes in so many different ways. But when it reaches a point where you do not want to exist, it is severe. It means you've gone through all those stages. Now you can't cope anymore. So I feel, because we are all self-centered these days, we all think, oh, he's also isolated himself. He's ghosting me. As a woman, I would say, oh, my man has isolated me. He doesn't want to talk to me. He's ghosted me. Instead of me trying to understand, why has he ghosted me? What is going on? Do you get? So a person who isolates themselves, trust you me, has got so many voices in his head.
Yeah.
The more you're going to show up, even when he doesn't want you to show up, you still show up and say, babe, what's going on? I want to hear it. What is going on? Instead of you being that pressure to say, you are isolating me, it means there's another woman. Of being that solution, you become another naggy problem. Then he decides to shut you off completely.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's some very good points that you've raised. I like the part where you said it's a manifestation, right? So, so think about it. It's a manifestation. For something to manifest, think of a volcano, right? Before a volcano erupts, it always starts like from the bottom. It keeps on building up and building up and building up and building up. And once it gets to the point where it's like, all right, now it's time to explode, and then you just see an eruption.
Exactly.
Like everything just goes, boom. And then you see now there is fire. Now everything is a storm. Now, so before getting to that point where people, or even when people reach that maximum point where they feel like it's better for me to not exist anymore. Now I'm thinking, because so many people reach out also to me. Like I literally have a message right now that I'm dealing in with a young man, and that was from yesterday. So he's going through that, and he reached out. And this happens all the time. Like people reach out all the time. Hey, this is what I'm going through. Now, I'm not a professional as far as help. So the only thing that I can do is to give somebody my ears, like, all right, I am listening. And now let me point you to the direction of a counselor, professional people that can actually handle these people are trained, right?
Yeah.
And then I also have people who refuse that, help. So in my mind, I'm like, are they faking, or are they going through? Are they just refusing help? Should I force this person to receive help? I don't know. Because I also have those cases where you literally want to set somebody up with a counselor. You contact somebody. You say, I'm going to pay for all these services. I just need you to show up. Even I'll send you transportation money to be attending these sessions. And then somebody just doesn't want to do it, But then they reached out to you because they're looking for help and a way to come out of this. Because the way I look at it, yes, you can have debt and everything, for instance. And from the majority of people that I deal with, heartbreaks are there. That's especially more in women, when they go through heartbreaks and everything. And then with the men, it's mostly financial issues when they don't have anybody to help, things like that. But it's like, I want to make sure that your state of mind is good first before we can even deal with the financial aspect. Because I won't be able to solve all your financial problems, but I can help you to get mentally strong so that you can, we can figure out how you can make this money and pay back. But now for somebody like you, Michelle, who was diagnosed with that severe, depression to that extent, how did you deal with it? Are you still dealing with it? And if you haven't, if you have overcome it, how did you overcome?
Just like Soti made mention to say, like, it's something that comes so crazy, like it's so heavy, because like it all started the time I was in school. I had started isolating myself. I used to get irritated so easily, but I never acknowledged all those things. Like, I'm one person like who loves cooking and everything, but I lost interest in cooking, eating and everything, until when I started my sessions and everything, like how my therapist would talk to me and everything.
But wait,
So
before you
like,
jump into that, how did you get
okay.
to the point of starting sessions? Like, did somebody guide you to starting sessions? Did you just wake up one day and say, I need to start sessions?
The whole thing came from the medical board. I actually had a medical board.
Okay.
Because they observed, like, I used to have patients like our friend. So they did all the tests and everything that they could. Like, they would sit me down trying to tell me, Michelle, what's wrong with you? But I would be like, no, I'm okay. Until those tests that they did, that's when they told me to say, oh, okay, so the thing is this, you need to go to school, and then you'll be referred from Manasoko Military Hospital to UTH Clinic 6 Psychiatry. So that's where I started my counseling. It went for 5 months like that.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So during my sessions, so
Yeah, I
that's how
think
my therapist used to tell me now, like, asking me like how I was raised, trying to find out like where it all started. Like, in my growing up, everything was just okay. In as much as I lost my parents in my tender age, I think I was 15. I lost both my parents, but still my bringing up and everything was just okay. But it all started the time I think I got married. Like, this is a husband, like my husband of my youth, and then just turned into a monster and everything. But I'm one person because of no, you're not supposed to throw dirty linen in public. You're not supposed to expose whatever happens in your home and everything. I used to keep stuff to myself. And then I went on separation. I went for military training, we did everything. Now, during our trade courses, I was still thinking to say, okay, yeah, I've left my kids home, my husband. And then it's just something that goes on in your head, like a lot of things you're just slowly shutting down, like, So until during those sessions, that's when now I started acknowledging. Otherwise, I used to think like, okay, I'm just normal, I'm okay. Yes, I have these problems, but I'm okay. But I never knew like I was depressed. Until when they started telling me, no, when you like this, when last did you eat? When last did you go out? So that's when I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I see. That's when I started encouraging me, go out, have friends, don't isolate yourself. Because during your isolation, you have people thoughts of suicide and everything, So until after, I think, 2 or 3 months, that's when I was like, oh, okay. I started learning more stuff even about me and everything, because I'm one person who also loves writing. So like when I'm alone, like maybe I'll just type something on Facebook before it. Yeah. So like, what can I say? There was a time like I thought I was fully healed until
Sorry,
one of
you
my
sound
friends
just a little bit low. Can you repeat that and maybe just a little bit louder?
Which one is that?
No, I'm saying you sounded just a little bit low as far as the mic.
Okay. So until after like 2-3 months during my sessions, that's when now I came to acknowledge to say like, really, I haven't been okay. Like, I'm depressed and I needed help.
Wow, took
So
2 months, huh? Wow.
2 months, yes. So that's when I was like, okay, then this is something I need to open up to my sisters, to my family, because they also didn't know what was happening to me. Because even our instructors, my friends in school were just like, what's wrong with you? All you do is just yell at people, you just insult, you isolate yourself, you don't go eat. Like, I never used to have enough sleep. I went into insomnia and everything. But to me, I was like, I'm okay, I'm cool. I didn't know that I was depressed. So it's because of the help that I had. That's when I started acknowledging and started to practice those things to say, okay, I'm one person, like I'm that job person and everything. I love writing. Let me continue with my writing. I love cooking and everything. Let me try to put that into practice. Eventually, I just started to come into acceptance. And one thing I think I needed was acceptance.
Mhm.
Like I reached a point where I had hated myself. I hated myself as a woman. I hated God to say, okay, God, why me? But again, He's a God who's so unquestionable.
Yeah.
But again,
Mhm.
our way to healing, I think, is acceptance. We should be accepting to say, okay, this thing has failed. And like I said earlier, this fear of unknown to say, what will people say? Like, no, she's failed her marriage. Maybe I failed my man, I failed my kids and everything. That's what kills us. So I came to realize to say, okay, this has failed and I just need to make some adjustments. I just
Mhm.
need to take the whole situation and everything. I think that's what has really helped me the most to overcome it all is acceptance.
Mm. Wow.
Mhm.
I know Sotini wanted to jump in to add on
Mm.
to or to respond to what you were saying, Michelle. So I'll give you a flow, Sotini.
No, I heard what she said, that it was through the medical board that had to convince her to say, you need treatment. Yeah. What I was trying to just add up to what she said was, um, until you realize that it is something that needs treatment, you'd ignore
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You understand? So even when those people come to you and say, I'm going through this, and you refer them to a specialist, yeah,
Mhm.
they don't understand it needs treatment, because to them, they feel it's just a feeling, or it's just something that is happening. It's just a phase that I'm going through, but they do not understand that their mind needs to be treated.
Mm.
That's one thing I realized, is that people do not understand that your mind needs to be treated. Your mind needs treatment,
Mm.
because depression is going to give you anxiety. It's going to give you irritations.
For
And
sure.
yes, even some even get the heart palpitation. You understand? So unless you realize that I need help.
Ooh, I think she got kicked off. I think her network needs some help. But
Yeah.
yeah, you have quite a story, just overcoming what you've overcome. And I see this all the time with people when they go through that phase, or they are going through that phase. Um, when people don't have just that backing, I guess, when it comes to like the family. And then, one thing that you spoke of is isolation. At least for you, you had like the medical board, kind of like ready to push in and help you to identify those things that you are going through. But then, so for those individuals that don't really have that support system, right? Who are just
Yeah.
pretty much by themselves. Um, and even sometimes you see people that, hey, this person has been with us all the time. This person has been the most joyous person, joyful person, but they just have all this pain that they are harboring inside, and they won't speak. And the next thing you know, they're just no more. So it was a case with my uncle.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Mhm.
it was just no more. Like, this is a person who was strong for everyone. Like, he was that person.
Oh,
So there was,
yeah. Mhm.
maybe no way of identifying that, or maybe we missed, people missed around him because I wasn't around him. People around him missed the clues. Maybe, I don't know. So it's like, for those people who are not able to identify, like we are not able to identify, those things around them. No, how do we help?
Yeah.
How do we really help those people?
Sorry, what's the question again?
I'm saying, so for people that we're pretty much not able to like see the signs that this is what's going on, because they can mask it so well to where it
Yeah.
doesn't show on the outside. How can
Yeah.
we help those individuals?
That's where the
I think
challenge comes from. Okay, so you can go ahead.
I think Sochi has.
Encouraging self-care. You know how you are able to know somebody's routines. You encourage them self-care. You indulge in the listening activities with them. Yeah. So you can do the listening activities. You can indulge in self-care. You can actually help them with their daily tasks, just for you to understand what is really going on. I feel we're in a community or a time that people don't really want to open up because of stigma. Yeah, people are stigmatized. People feel less. Yeah. So if you're going to just talk about it in that way, to say, there was a day that I also went through this and I handled this way. I'll talk about the financial aspect of how a man struggles and decides to exit. I feel like women sometimes need to acknowledge the fact that we are partly to blame, because you know exactly how finances are going to destroy your man, but you give him a demand that is beyond his capabilities. You understand? A man should understand, and this also is a problem with men. I feel like every man should go for a woman that he knows he'll be able to blend in and build together. I feel like gone are the days where you say, I'm going to find a man who's going to have everything and I'm going to live a Cinderella life. I feel it's high time we spoke about a woman giving in a percentage to help a man mentally. That's the solution I can really think of right now. And if it comes to people around that person that's going through stress, I feel we miss the whole signs because we take things for granted. Trust you me, a person who wants to exit will always give you a sign, will always talk about it. They'll talk about it in a parable, they'll talk about it in a joke, but you always need to understand, why would they joke about their death? You understand?
Yeah.
So we need to pay attention to the jokes. We need to pay attention to how somebody that is close to us, and trust you me, I want you there was a time that I also wanted to kill myself, but you know how you don't just do it, you try, you train, you actually say, okay, let me try today. And when you're doing it, you're not doing it because you know you're going to go, but you're doing it to grab the attention. You're just trying to grab the attention. Is somebody going to listen? Because I want you to listen to what I'm saying. Let them listen to my feelings. Do you get? So the moment you try, and eventually you try and it succeeds. So let's pay attention to what people are doing, what people are saying. Why are you sorry? That's why somebody said, check on your friends. You can actually just say hi. Somebody will feel better. You can just say, you're looking good today. Somebody will feel better. I miss your smile. Somebody's gonna smile. And eventually it's a seed that you're planting and it will grow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because on my side, on the identification, it has been a challenge. But what I do, like in most cases, even if I'm meeting you for the first time like that, I'm that person like who's always open. Like I would want to create a conversation, like to start a conversation. Like I would want to share my story, and I've seen it's something that has helped me through me having interactions, sharing my story about my past, that's when they'll be like, oh, okay, even me, after I'm going through this. But you don't even notice, not even a thing. Like, you find this person is so ever jovial, taking activities at work, everything, drinking, chilling, and stuff like that, but they're going through a lot. So what has helped me, like, I'm not so good to identify, because like you're saying, some hide things. They hide a lot, but people are really going through a lot. So I've just taught myself to say, I wouldn't mind sharing my story, because I know it would help one or two people like that. So I'm one person, like, oh, maybe even if I'm meeting you for the first time, like, oh, okay, like I'll get to know you, and then I'll just share a bit of my story like that. Maybe we get to know each other, we start chilling and everything. Through me opening up, it's what has helped a few people, like, for them to feel comfortable with me to also share their story with me. Because in most cases, it's just the fear that they have, especially men. No, what will people say? No, I've failed business, I'm going through challenges, and then now, it's something that's eating them up. But they will be there trying to pretend like everything is okay. Meanwhile, they're being drained mentally. So me, what has helped me and a few friends that I know is by through me opening up, because I've been having challenges to identify, to say, okay, this one is going through a hardship or something. So through sharing my story like that, I always tell even my colleagues, like, okay, the other day, like I was telling my colleagues to say, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. Like, okay, you wait until maybe it's December for me to have a resolution or something like that. Let's have something that instead of a new year, but it's going to be a daily resolution. Like, so your resolution should be an ultimate one.
True.
Something that improves your heart, basically spiritual, financial, love, and social life every day. Spiritual, like you need to have that great relationship with God. Financial, you need to have a plan for today to say, okay, yesterday I failed, today let me make that move. Like I said, spiritual, financial, social life, such like that. Like, let's just socialize it. Everyone, we should have respect for everyone despite their status. Angankaleni taxi driver or maybe conductor and I'm just one person. Oh, hi, hello, Shan, or Nigaden boy, or he's just a civilian like that. But Nimafuna, like I'm at least I'm socializing with everyone. We are going through a lot of people having challenges, like a lot of struggles that we're battling with. You can never know. But once you try to socialize, like you interact, you open up, you tell your story like that, they'll be like, oh, okay, madam, this and this. Oh, what. Like that. It's what's been. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's been crazy.
And so on
I actually like how you've said the spiritual.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I like what she says as well with the spiritual aspect. I think with the disconnect that we have a lot of people don't believe in God, which at that point is like, so you also isolate yourself from that other element of being helped spiritually. But I think, one of the biggest things pattern from both of you guys is this has to be, especially in people that you cannot be able to identify that these people are going through this situation. So I'm thinking of, I think the biggest thing that you guys are saying is keeping on having that conversation, even if you don't see the signs of these things with anybody. Like, the only time we shouldn't wait until we see signs in people to start talking about people's struggles. I think we should make it part of our lifestyle with the people that we surround ourselves with, to bring up such conversations every single time. And you sometimes you have those type of conversation where you just want to see how somebody's going to react, right?
Thank you.
Like sometimes you just want to see how people go. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you short on that point. Like, it should be 3 weeks ago. There's this friend of mine who was saying, no, I'm having challenges, this and this for my Chilangamilo and stuff like that. Maybe I should just cut off the wedding and everything. So I was like, in as much as I'm coming from a failed marriage, I still believe in marriage and good men still exist out there. I still believe in love. And then I was trying to share my story like that. And this is the person, like, she's always jovial and everything. You can't even notice like she's going through stuff. And then through me sharing my story, she started breaking down. So I'm like, but I'm here. I'm the one who passed through this. Like when you can share something, like when you can share your story and it's no longer breaking, you know that you're healed. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, but why are you crying? No, I feel sorry for you. No, don't feel sorry for me. It's actually a blessing in disguise. And then she started breaking down, like, but are you okay? That's how she started opening up. But before, I never even knew a thing.
Mm.
I
So,
think
like, it's
you,
true,
you,
you know,
Yeah.
you know how you
the
can
way they react.
encourage.
Mhm.
You know how you can encourage someone with a strength. Yeah.
Mhm.
I know. Okay, I'll give you an example of.
Oh, I hope this network doesn't kick Sotini out. I think so. Yeah. I think like every single time Sotini wants to say something, then the network is like really messed up. Let me
on
try to
social
mute her mic
media.
because we really can't hear her.
Jokes and
Hey, Sotini, we can hear you. But yeah. So unfortunately, if she's able to join in here in a few minutes, then we definitely will bring her back. But I know for the sake of time, okay, looks like she might be back. For the sake of time, yeah. So let her come back in. She'll finish what she was saying. But yeah, what I was trying to say is, yeah, definitely, that was a very good example that you just gave. Because like sometimes you just want to see people's reaction. Or there is
Exactly.
times when you can just go to a friend and you'll be like, man, I'm broke. Like I'm on my last. I don't have anything, bro. Like I just, can you borrow me like even just the 50 kwacha, just let me just get some lunch. But the whole thing is you just want to see like, is this person gonna be able to help me? And then I'll be like, oh, here you go. Yeah, don't even worry about paying me back. So like, oh, I have some really, really good friends here.
Oh yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
never mind. I was just playing. And maybe you even end up doing something for them. Like, wow, like you really got me at my lowest. So
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like that's what we need to be doing, especially when it comes to these things. And we need to be testing it out on people just to let people know, like, to see where people's mental state is. Intentionally bringing up these conversations. And even if it's not just to get a reaction, but sometimes you can even give an example of like, yeah, there was this person who was going through this and, I was having a conversation with somebody about this and that. Or you can even just give yourself as an example, like, yeah, man, I've been going through this, and that way people feel more comfortable to start relating to experiences because they can always open up. So yeah, I feel like that's one thing that we always need to be doing, like making it part of our conversations with people. I think that way we can be able to help a lot of people. So
can
Tini,
you hear me, you guys?
yes, what you were saying.
I was saying, you know how I would always joke about things on my page, and there was a week
Oh,
that I didn't. So this guy came to my inbox and he's like, and I was like, oh, yeah, I have. He's like, so every time I go to your page, I just want to laugh. I was like, okay, are you all right? Then he says, honestly, I'm not fine. So when you joke about those funny life experiences, they make me laugh and I look at life the other side. So we had a chat. I realized that, sometimes you just have to be nice. You just have to be nice. You understand? There could be somebody out there who's going through something very bad, and your response towards them can lead them into exit or restoration. That's what I wanted to say.
wow.
It's how we treat people that can either help them into existence or exit. I feel like
You better preach.
we you know how we take certain things for granted.
Yeah.
Even a simple thank you to somebody can brighten up their day. Even a simple compliment can brighten up somebody's day. But we take things lightly.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel
Yeah.
like
So
and I almost feel like we need a part two to this,
we
you know,
do, we do, we
because of
do.
like because of
Definitely.
time,
Because of the time, yeah.
unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We do,
We need
guys.
we
Yeah.
need to get into the part two because of time. Because I
Yeah.
got somewhere
Oh
that
yeah.
I need to be, and I'm pretty sure you guys also have programs after this. But we definitely need to have a part two because I feel like we're
We
just now
definitely
Mm-hmm.
getting
need a part
started.
two.
Yeah, we're just getting started. And so
Yeah.
once this episode is up, a part two is going to be very relevant. Also, once we also look at
Mm-hmm.
people's comments, because we know that people
Yeah.
are going to engage in the comment section. A lot of people are going through so many different things. So I think for now, we definitely are going to pause right here at this point, and then once this episode goes up, let's just look at people's reactions, because I know you guys have friends, families, and everything. So there's going to be more people that are going to reach out also to you guys and be able
Yeah.
to express as well. So this is going to be a very healthy conversation. And I can guarantee you, this will probably
Mm-hmm.
not even go to only 2 episodes. I feel like this discussion here is going to go beyond even 10 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, because a lot
Yeah.
of people are going through a lot, and a lot of people are going to be
A
reaching out to
lot.
open up. I
A
know that
Yeah.
lot.
for a fact. So
Mm-hmm.
hope you ladies are prepared to put on some. Well, I know Michelle already puts on boots, so I think it's me and you, Sotini, that needs to be to be prepared. Put on our bootstraps.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. The race
Uh,
is has just begun. Yeah.
yeah, the race just began, and
Mm-hmm.
I definitely appreciate both of you for coming on and just pretty much give insightful just have an insightful conversation. you know I think it's so much better than I thought it was gonna go on just this episode here. Both of you, truly thank you, and of course we're going to keep talking in the background and figure out what we're going to do on
Oh
the
yeah.
second episode. So
Mhm.
just in under 1 minute, any
Yeah.
closing remarks that you guys want to give? I will start with you, Michelle.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. So I'm still definitely looking more forward to this because I really want to be part of, the group in Healthy. Yeah, because I know, like, I've been there before, like, even more recently, we've been having these issues or people deleting themselves, stuff like that, because of finances, all that. I know myself where I'm standing right now, like, I'm in a bad space financially. But I've just told myself to say, okay, I need to do the right thing. I made some mistakes and everything, but I just need to acknowledge and at least do the right thing. So one thing I can just advise or something that I'm praying for, we're not supposed to feel sorry for ourselves. People need to stand so firm and tell themselves to say, okay, we all make mistakes or probably we all go through some challenges, but we just need to face them head on to say, oh, okay, one day it's kapanga sense. Let's be kind to one another. Let love lead. That's all I can say.
Thank you. And
Mhm.
to you, Sotini. I think Sotini is stuck, unfortunately. So I'm going to assume she probably would have said something in the maybe. Okay, there she is. Sotini, can you hear me? Unfortunately, if I get her to record like a 1 minute, closing remarks, then she can send it over. But yeah, everybody else, guys, make sure that you leave your comment in the comment section below. Let us know if you would like to have more, conversations about this, and if you guys want to participate as well. This is the Now Podcast. Make sure that you subscribe. We're going to be on Facebook, and we're also going to be on YouTube as well, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know your experiences and just invite somebody else to come and watch this insightful conversation. So until next time, guys, we will see you. I am Lukun Kamlenga. Peace, guys.